It's Daybreak. Now let's take a look at what's making the headlines on the papers around the world this morning. We begin with this day. Now, on the front page of this day newspaper, two bold pictures right there. One of the resilient southern governors of Nigeria. And the second is of President Buhari receiving a number 10 jersey from the FIFA president Gianni Infantino. Now, for those who love soccer or football, the number 10 jersey is usually given to the playmaker who's supposed to create opportunities for goals to be scored. And we wonder this morning, does the president deserve a number 10? Other headlines, bold ones on this day newspaper. Southern governors meet, insist on state's collection of value-added tax. And another one here, Nigeria returns to international capital market for its $6.2 billion Eurobonds.
And still on Nigerian newspapers this morning, The Nation, the boldest headline on the front page today says, Lagos, Rivers ask courts to stop VAT revenue sharing. A recurring headline here, the South governors back court action on tax. And the FIRS says the court should not join Lagos in the suit. Another headline, still on VAT, says Lagosians okay Governor Sanwo-Olu's action on VAT and open grazing.
Well, to the Punch front page, where the paper is saying the federal government of Nigeria will be spending $4.9 billion fresh loans on the Kano-Niger Republic rail line and others. It breaks it further down, saying that the railway will improve trade among Nigeria, Niger, North Africa, and that's according to the president, President Muhammadu Buhari. He also says that Nambra, Benue, Ogun, Taraba farmers, others to benefit from $50 million loan as the National Assembly's speedy approval of the loan request worries Senator Undume. Above the nameplate, a couple of headlines there. 12 soldiers killed, 3 gun trucks seized in Borno terror ambush. Farms imported 42,224.346 metric tons of gas from U.S. or Algeria in August. And Southern governors back state collection of VAT, Lord anti-grazing law progress. The front page of the Punch.
Moving on quickly now to the Guardian newspaper. Southern governors insist on value-added tax collection 2023 presidency. This one, Buhari has changed APC, not the same party I criticized, says Femi Fani Kayode. He used to be in the PDP and now has joined the APC. And right there again, it's a picture of President Buhari receiving a number 10 jersey from the FIFA president Gianni Infantino.
And moving to international papers this morning, we have the Daily Press and a really big font headline here on the front page. At long last, green light for travel. Now, this is in the UK. The travel restrictions are finally being ditched in a boost to millions of Britons desperate for a getaway. We should have more details later on that today. And on top of the Daily Press, we have Priti Patel on Warpath. Police told to take decisive action against selfish eco-protesters, and that's on page 9. She's talking about protesters who protest on the streets, shut down the streets, close businesses, and basically disrupt public transport. And also on the front page of Daily Express is Homecoming, Queen Emma and one very proud father. Remember Emma Raducanu, the 18-year-old who defeated Fernandez to win the US Open on Saturday.
Well, let's look at what The Guardian and the Daily Mirror are saying this morning. First, for The Guardian, it leads with backlash over the US and UK's nuclear submarine pact with Australia, citing concerns that the alliance could provoke China and prompt conflict in the Pacific. Daily Mirror says it has spoken to sources who say Prince Andrew is worried about Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit, which would cost him millions.
Moving on now to The Times. Let's take a glimpse of that. Tell us if deal will drag Britain to war, Prime Minister Boris Johnson urged. Another headline there, holiday hotspots off COVID red list in time for half-term break. And Imperial is back in win for Metric Martyrs.
And for the press review this morning, Emmanuel Bello joins us now. Emmanuel, begin with this day newspaper. The headline here says, Southern governors meet, insist on state collection of VAT. This headline has been recurring. Emmanuel, we've been talking about it for weeks now. The Southern governors are not giving up. What do you make of this?
Well, we are seeing the progression of the story, the shift. It started like, a little thing done by, the governor of Rivers State starting it off. And then now it's something of a revolution. And it's a story that won't go away. It's getting more supporters, getting more fans. And but the striking thing in that story is the silence from the northern governors. One of the newspapers saying that they're keeping mum over the meeting. Normally they are supposed to, by now, say something about the position of the southern governor, but it's by far in the history of this story one of the biggest push coming from an entire region. All the governors, the 17 governors coming together, and in this meeting, 9 of them were present. It's a huge push for those who are in support of VAT collections for the regions, as opposed to sharing VAT. But I guess maybe by today, tomorrow, we should be hearing from the Northern Governors Forum, because they have a Northern Governors Forum. What's their pushback? What's their take on the meeting and all of that? But for today, the big story will be that the governors are coming together. It's no longer what Governor Wike started. It's no longer what some interest groups are talking about. It is now a regional position. And I think the stage for a clash, so to say, a huge Royal Rumble has been set now. And I think in the coming days, this story won't go away. We should stay tuned. We're going to see more dramas around this story.
Let's look at the Punch. It's a busy front page this morning, Emmanuel. But the bold one there is about the government spending and the breakdown. But Senator Ali Ndume says he's worried. I think it's Ali Ndume. He just says Ndume there. Is worried about the speedy approval of the loan.
Yeah, I guess he's worried. He shares the worry that we started talking about it a few days ago, which people have been, it's been captured in many of the papers, the issue of why borrow more, where 33 trillion naira down the drain. Do you know each one of us here have got, someone did a calculation roughly, I think each one of us, including at this one, myself and everyone here, we are owing about 165,000 naira or so as individuals across the country. So you have debts that you don't know why you've incurred them. So you're all indebted in a way when you calculate what is already down and the fact that it is now 35 trillion. So I think Ndume's worry is the fact that, the president keeps asking for more money and he keeps getting it. But then you see the presidency also pushing back on that and saying this and this and these are the things we want to do with the money. So we spoke about that too, that there are people who have said that borrowing is not that bad. The issue is what are you doing with the borrowings? What are you doing? But then when you look at the fact that each one of us here is already indebted, we're already in the debt pit, you begin to ask yourself whether it's justified.
Sorry, what is you?
While the worries about borrowing, someone has willingly lent himself to the APC. Before now, he did say that he'd rather be dead than to rejoin. Is it join? Okay, no, he wasn't in the APC. He's always been in the PDP. He'd rather be dead than join the APC. Femi Fani-Kayode has been presented to President Muhammadu Buhari, and according to him, he says President Buhari has changed, and the APC is not the same party I criticized. Should we expect an obituary?
Well, I think the story made a lot of social media, side talks and a lot of drama yesterday. It's a bit dramatic, and not only just because of the action of the campaign. We've been saying a lot of the campaign recently. I think this one is because of the person involved and the things he said in the past. There was a network that was busy playing what he said in the past and what he's saying now. And but then again, for many politicians, that's just a walk in the park. It's what they do. They shift grounds and they tell you what. In his own case, they give you reasons. Femi Fani-Kayode, they say he had practically from God that he should make this shift. So he's adding a spiritual quality to it. He had from God. Now, how do you even begin to debate that? But the other things he said was that, well, I'm checking on this government. I'm shifting my position. This government is no longer what it used to be. This party is no longer what it used to be. You can criticize him for making a shift, but at the same time, you must listen to his reasons. And he's saying that, well, and when politicians make this kind of movement, many things are in consideration. It could be their self-interest, it could be their political future, it could be what they think is best for business, for them. So there are all sorts of things. And it could also be principle. Probably he's losing out in the other party and he feels that there's a need for him to make a move. But another profound thing is that since this leadership of the APC comes in, we've been seeing this, the Yobe state governor shows up at your door and the next thing you're moving into the APC. He's done that a lot. We saw sensational ones like that of Dogara, former speaker. And this is also very, very sensational. It's amazing that most newspapers, they don't run with it on their cover, but one or two papers carried it. But Femi Fani-Kayode is a newsmaker, and I guess he's going to be faced with this criticism that, well, this is what you said in the past, why are you changing?
Okay, we'll definitely look out for Fani Kayode's future in the APC. Now, moving on to international papers now. Daily Express has this huge headline, at long last, green light for travelers in the UK. Now, they're moving forward and changing this green light, red light, and amber light. The green light, and they're moving on and opening, lessening their restrictions on COVID. What's your take on that?
Well, I think, like Kenneth was saying the other day, the world is actually in a hurry to get back to normal, where the sports arenas are open, and I think travel restrictions that were there, people are in a hurry to get back to some form of normalcy as we live with the reality of the virus. And I think, like the UK strongman said, Boris, that we have to find a way around the virus and live normal lives. I think that's what, and it's good for business, it's good for the economy, it's good for tourism, it's good for all sectors. So I think that's just what this is talking about, the fact that what the greatest, what got hit by the COVID more than any other thing was travel, tourism, and international businesses. I think with this, it's good news for those who travel a lot and for various reasons.
Manuel, if you can, in like 40 seconds, the international reactions. It's the UK, US, Australia versus China with this submarine pact. What are your thoughts?
Well, this I was discussing it earlier, it's the fallout of the fall of Afghanistan and the fact that we're living in a much more dangerous world now. And so alliances are getting to be formed. The superpowers are thinking of how to secure their territories and everything. And now, of course, in the next few days or weeks, we're going to hear more of the reaction from countries, especially China, that doesn't seem to be very happy with it. Feels, let out in the whole deal. But again, the world is getting more dangerous. Superpowers coming together, Britain, the US, to see how much they can secure themselves and their allies in the Pacific. I think it's an interesting story, and it's going to build up as we go into the weeks.
Well, thank you so much, Emmanuel Bello, for the press review this morning. Much appreciated.